So here we have a nice little HP laptop. It's got really good specs on it. I like it. It is a little bit older. It came with Windows 8 installed, and then it was upgraded to Windows 10. In this video here, I'm going to replace the spinning platter drive or hard disk drive with a new solid state drive. I'm also going to double the RAM from 4 gigs to 8 gigs, so that way it has a little bit better performance. It's still in really good condition. It just needs a new hard drive more than anything, and so on top of the hard drive I am just adding RAM just to help add a little bit of better performance. I am hopefully going to get Windows 11 on this machine. If you've not watched my video on how to get Windows 11 on a computer with TPM issues, go ahead and watch that as well. That's essentially what I'm going to do to this machine to get Windows 11 on it. Along with that, like I said, just new hard drive, additional RAM. So let me show you how to do that on this specific HP model. Before I change camera views here, you've got the battery, you've got several screws in here, and then there's these rubber feet here. There are hidden screws in there, so for those of you that can't figure out why the lid's not coming, or the bottom's not coming off, double check that you've got those screws removed. So let's go ahead and change camera views here and get to work. Alright, so let's go ahead. First things first, you want to make sure that you get the battery out. I actually like the computers that have these external batteries. They're easier to work on. Some people don't like that, but I do, just because they're easier to pop in and out. So once you get the battery done here, there's 4 screws across the back that we need to get rid of. So very carefully pull back, and if you can't get your finger to pull these rubber feet out, what you want to do is take either a flathead screwdriver or a flat piece of plastic and just get under there. If you are using a screwdriver, definitely be careful because you don't want to scratch the computer. So let me go ahead and take these 4 screws out. There's also 2 here, 1 in the front, 3 in the middle. So we've got to make sure that we get all those out. So I'm going to pop those out real quick. Alright, so we've got all 12 screws out. I just verified it. Now what you want to do is go ahead and pop off or pull out the optical drive here. Losing my train of thought. The screw that holds that in is this back one here. So if that won't come out, it's because this screw's not out. So then we'll go ahead and flip it over. And this is a very crucial part where you have to be extremely careful. There's this lip that goes right around the edge where the bottom attaches to the keyboard and trackpad plate here. And what you'll want to do is take a piece of plastic or a flathead screwdriver and pop that out. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you are going to use a flathead screwdriver, you got to be extremely careful not to scratch the computer. Alright, there we go. That was a little bit harder than expected. Usually those are a little easier to pop off, but with the age of laptops, some of the older laptops can be a little bit more difficult. So this is what it looks like all opened up. This is where your optical drive was sitting. That connects right in there. Your screw holds it in. You've got your processor and your fan and heat sink. You've got your RAM here. You've got your hard drive. Obviously your motherboard and other chips. So I'm going to do the easiest thing first, and that is install the new RAM. Now, I had already verified that these 2 RAM sticks are compatible. So when putting RAM in, and anytime, like I've said in the past, anytime you're messing with these, you want to make sure you're grounded. And then when you're putting in RAM, you want to be very careful. Got these little tags here. always extra and overly cautious with RAM on laptops because they tend to be a little bit more of a pain to get in. So now it's time to put in the new solid state hard drive. So this is a solid state drive versus the platter or hard disk drive. So perfect fit there. So we're going to take this out. Now what we need to do is make sure that we get all the screws out to pull the whole thing out here, this bracket that holds in the hard drive. So we're going to switch back to the Phillips flathead. There's 3 screws. I'm sorry, switching to the Phillips from the flathead. Okay, so now we got this bracket out. You want to be very careful about detaching this here. Okay, so now you see what we're looking at here. Got this tag. We just want to give a little bit of a tug, and then we've got the hard drive disconnected from the computer. Now there's going to be 4 screws that we need to go ahead and pop off here. So we're going to set this one aside. Verify that goes in that way. So then you need to look at your 2 bars and know which one goes where. Alright, so now that you've got the rails put back on the hard drive, or on the new hard drive, you can go ahead and attach them. Attach the new hard drive here. Slide that in there. Set it down nice and easy. Then take the 3 screws and put them back together. Everything is good to go. So what we've done is we've got the new RAM in there with the existing RAM. They are compatible. We've got the new solid state hard drive in there, and we've got the old platter drive removed. Now, if you didn't before removing the hard drive, make sure that you back up all your data. If the hard drive has completely crashed, you can get a docking station, and you can sometimes put this in a docking station and connect it to your computer and pull data off of it, but that's not always a guarantee. But definitely back up your data before doing any work on your computer in case something should ever go wrong. So now that we've got this put back together, we've got to put the case on. Just press it on there, nice and firm. Not too hard, because in case something's not fitting right, you need to be able to fix it before popping the case completely on. And now let's go ahead, put all 12 screws back in place. Alright, so we still have 2 screws left here. One goes here, one goes here. Before I put those in, I want to put this optical drive back in. This is the screw that holds it in. This screw here goes next to it, but I didn't want to put that one in first because I didn't want to tighten this down and have a harder time sliding that in. Next thing, I'm going to take these rubber feet and put them back where they belong. Now, lastly, insert your battery here and then install your operating system, whether you're reinstalling an older one such as Windows 8 or a newer one such as Windows 10 or even Windows 11. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to put Windows 11 on here, and if I can't, then I'll have to do Windows 10. So as you can see, we've got Windows 11 here already installed on this computer. It was actually really quick and easy. I used the Windows 11 ISO. I also have a Windows 10 ISO just in case this one didn't work. I was going to have to do it the long way with Windows 10 ISO, get 10 on there, and then try to upgrade to 11. But thankfully, the Windows 11 ISO had worked, so that's great. Made that the process a lot quicker, a lot easier. So I've noticed a huge improvement in performance on this computer just from the hard disk drive, the traditional spinning platter drive that was in there, to the new solid state drive that I just put in. I haven't done anything yet to test the RAM, but I did notice that the RAM capacity is obviously 8 gigs instead of 4 gigs, so the computer took it without any issues. So now all that's left to do is get the old files transferred back onto this computer and pass it back on to its original owner. If you have any questions, comments, just leave them down below. I'm happy to answer them. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.